As usual, every day, as we are being conversations with the eminent personalities, today we have got K. Chandrasekhar, who has been into teaching and training field for the past 1.5 decade. And he worked with MNCs like Convergys, and he was a trainer for specific training purpose and functional training purpose. And also he is one of the aspiring trainers where he trains the trainers, and he's also interested and passionate in training the people, especially the people who are from rural area, and make them to be successful in their life. Apart from being an English language trainer, he is into training soft skills and life skills. He established his own organization called Mother Teresa Institute of Languages and Soft Skills Training. And he has been doing a great job in the field of training, where he trains people from all walks of life. And he also received a lot of awards, national awards from the various organizations. If I'm right, within a year, he has received twice the national awards from the various well-recognized organization, and he is there always in news, and also he has been always training the eminent personalities of the corporates. And I am glad that he is my buddy, where we studied together, and his passion made him to quit the MNC job where he was working with Convergys and settle in Anantapur to render his services so that rural area people will get benefited and make their life more successful. I'm glad that, thank you very much, Chandrasekhar, for having accepted to deliver a session on the most important topic, the intervention of life skills, which is very important during this COVID-19. Now, I wholeheartedly welcome K. Chandrasekhar to deliver a session on interventions of life skills.
Thank you for the warm, introduction, Mr. Srinivas. Nice words, and I'm here before you with a lot of enthusiasm to make a difference to myself as well as to the aspirant's life. Well, that was nice introduction, and I don't think I have anything to say after so many kind words from Mahipati Srinivas. But I would like to update one thing. That is nothing but after working in corporate, I had to just give a thought out of the box. Like if I'm working over there, I would have been an employee, but I looked a bigger picture over there, and I gave wings to my aspirations. To fulfill my aspirations, I had to resign my job and come back to my native district, because I felt the skill gap is bigger and wider in the remote areas like a district called Anantapur, rather than corporate cities like Hyderabad and Bangalore. So that's what made me. And you know what? I would like to say some words from my heart. I'm ready for anything for my district Anantapur, and I render all my services here. And thank you for God giving me this opportunity. And I would like to tell you that I would like to dedicate this program, or maybe the speech, to my parents, because without them I wouldn't have been before you, and I wouldn't have grown this much, because they always believed me, trusted me, that I would be doing something great like this. And I wish God and my parents give me the strength to go a long way in the future too. Thank you, one and all. Well, let me start with the things. Am I audible to everybody? I want to just check. You can just put the thumbs up if anybody is logged in, and if you can, if you are not, you can chat in the chat box and let me know, so that it would be comfortable to develop a rapport and then go ahead with the confidence. Well, I hope everybody is okay. Everybody is, thank you, Guru Charan, for responding, and you have been always an active participant. And great evening once again to everybody. The reason why I say great evening is I'm an optimist. I always look for great things, miracles to happen every moment in our life, not just once in a year or once in a lifetime, but I expect miracles to happen every moment, and this would be that moment. So I wish you all not only just great evening, but also great session too. Well, life skills. And I named it called intervention of life skills purposefully, just to say that how important the intervention is in the human being's life. Life skills is different, life is different. The role of life skills in life is a lot. Everybody knows it. And very few people know how important are they and how do they work. So this is what prompted me or probed me to name this session as intervention of life skills. To start with, life skills, I would like to define life skills or redefine life skills in my own way. The two terminologies involved in the title, intervention and life skills, is intervention is, mediating and making it better or upgrading it is what intervention is all about. And life skills is a bigger picture than what we see. We do see trainers, master trainers, and many others empowering people with lots of skills like personality development, soft skills, and communication skills, negotiation skills, critical thinking, interpersonal relations, team building skills, many skills. Like I can give n number of titles or maybe names for training, but life skills is no different from them, but it has its own importance as it is bigger than everything. It has its own, vicinity, and it is beyond the realm of a human being's thoughts. What I mean to say here is, what is life? Life is the time between the birth and the moment we exit from this world. What all we do in between this is termed as life. And skill, as you all know, is something which you do it practically and execute it perfectly. There is a lot of difference between what you do and executing it to the perfection. So when you execute it to the perfection, then it can be said as a preeminent skill. So there is a lot of gap in between. So intervention and life skills. Life is bigger than anything, and what all we say, communication skills, soft skills, what all we say, it is a part of life. After all, life is bigger than anything, and we live for life, and life is taken as a unit here. And what are the roles of life skills is what I'm going to discuss. And later on, I shall come to how do they work, how best we can make them intervene. And this is what I would like to say. And well, before going to that, life is, I already said, bigger than anything. And I want to make sure that everybody gets this, and later on it may be uploaded on YouTube. For them, I would like to speak two sentences in Telugu, and then I'll carry forward with the actual happenings of this session. Well, జీవన నైపుణ్యాలు. జీవన నైపుణ్యాల యొక్క మన జీవితంలో వాటి యొక్క ప్రాముఖ్యత, అవి ఎలా పనిచేస్తాయనే దానిపైన ఈ సెషన్. జీవితం అనేది ఒకటి ప్రతి ఒక్కరికి ఉండేదే. కొంతమంది ఆ జీవితాన్ని గ్రాంటెడ్ గా తీసుకుంటారు, కొంతమంది దాన్ని ఉత్తమ స్థాయికి తీసుకెళ్లి ఇంకా అత్యున్నత స్థాయికి వెళ్ళేటట్టుగా మిగతా వాళ్ళని ట్రై చేసి వాళ్ళు తీసుకెళ్ళగలుగుతారు. ఆ ఉన్నత స్థాయి నుంచి అత్యున్నత స్థాయికి వెళ్ళడానికి, ఉన్నత స్థాయి నుంచి ఉన్నత స్థాయికి, ఉన్నత స్థాయి నుంచి అత్యున్నత స్థాయికి వెళ్ళడానికి ఏవైతే అవసరమో ఆ నైపుణ్యాలన్నింటినీ మనం జీవన నైపుణ్యాలు అని చెప్పేసి చెప్పవచ్చు. ఈ జీవన నైపుణ్యాలు అనేది ప్రతి జీవితంలో ఆల్రెడీ ఉండేటివే. మనం బయట నుంచి తెచ్చుకుంటామేమో, అవేవో కొత్తవేమో అని చెప్పేసి చాలా మంది అనుకుంటుంటారు. అలా కాదు. దే ఆర్ ఆల్రెడీ దేర్. ద ఐరనీ is that they're already there. Most of the people think that they have to come from outside. As I always say that nothing can motivate you if you don't have the internal motivation. External motivation can only work to some extent, but when you have the internal motivation, it is then something can get happening. Something great can happen in your life. So what I mean to say here is, before going in details into details of life skills, even if life skills have to come into your life and start acting, and when if they are already there, if you have to make them happening or work for you in your favor and upgrade your life or corporate life or maybe personal life or professional life, because life skills are in every life, professional, be professional, maybe personal, maybe corporate, whatever, everywhere. If they have to work for you, you have to first, open the doors. You have to welcome them. You have to identify them. You have to respect them. You have to, like, whatever. You have to, believe in yourself that you have in it. Then you can start working on them. The reason why I say this is, if you have to open the door, you have to get inspired. Before that, you need to have an aspiration. You need to have some sort of, a dream or a goal. It is then something can start happening for you. The reason why I say all these things is, without your passion, nothing great can happen in your life. When you have that passion, somebody can, maybe anything, getting a job, earning money, and you may be a foodie if you want to eat. All these are desires. When you have a desire, that will grow to an extent where it can be a burning desire, which will poke you all the time, pinch you all the time from inside, to go, to come out of comfort zone, to go forward and work, start working. And then when that happens, the next stage is inspiration. For example, inspiration means getting inspired by seeing something, getting inspired by watching somebody doing great things. Well, the best example that I can give is Mahipati Srinivas Rao, our host, a great work that he's doing during this COVID-19. And I think many got inspired, and I'm one among them. And I'm sure he will inspire many. And then when these videos go viral on YouTube, I'm sure thousands and maybe lakhs may get inspired. The reason why I'm saying this is the inspiration. That is a seed of this life skill, I can say. When you have a desire, when it becomes a burning desire, it can become inspiration. When you get inspired, there comes the important factor called motivation. So to tell you about motivation, I've been saying a lot of things like this. This session, no doubt, can be a motivation session, but it is on life skills. I'm linking the motivation to the life skills because motivation itself is an entity. Inspiration itself is an entity, the starting point, the threshold point of empowering yourself. I'm bringing in one more terminology. I'm bringing one by one, all the terminologies: inspiration, motivation, empowerment. These three are the ones which can definitely bring goosebumps for an aspirated candidate. Hope you're all comfortable. I would like to just check with all the people. You can chat, type me on the chat box. That would definitely give, because I've done all my presentations lively, and students' response is what gives me the energy. And when we have the right, combination, right repo going on, everything goes fine. And that's what just makes me time to check with you time and again. Well, I hope everything is fine. I would like to move forward. Yes, I saw a thumbs up. Thank you, Mr. Janardhan, sir. Okay, great. Even others responding. That's really great to see. Well, this is something about the life skills in brief. And now I would like to enter into the details of life skills. What would inspiration do? Well, inspiration can kindle the hidden energies in you. Well, I would like to tell a small, anecdote over here. The fire I'm talking about, which can be kindled or ignited in a candidate, everybody surely has some sort of fire, and I'm sure everybody has it. I'm sure nobody says no, don't you? Everybody has fire. When does that come out? When it is kindled or ignited. What do you mean by igniting? Igniting is nothing but the fire inside should come out. If it is inside, it is cool. When it comes outside, then it can be seen. The fire, in the sense, I can say, everybody, whoever attends like 14 to 15 years of age, that is the right age where somebody grows with intuition, that is called adolescence. And that is the stage where the people start thinking about their individual life. And what I mean to say here is, once they attain the age of 14 to 15 years, next 5 to 8 years is very critical time. And that is the stage where the adolescence comes, and there comes a lot of fire because of the hormone secretions. There are a lot of changes externally as well as internally happen. It's a bit scientific, but I don't want to go into the details. When that happens, people try to give different directions for their energies, fire, whatever you call it as. And when you can give the right direction for it, it is going to make the things happening for you, create miracles, or maybe it can definitely bring in a lot of positive changes in your life. I would like to ask you a question. If there is some sort of fire in the hot summer on a sunny day in a forest, in a dense forest, where does or in what direction does the fire move on? Whether it is east, west, north, south, in which direction does it go? Anybody who can answer me? I will take a pause for 15 to 20 seconds because I want to make it interactive. Later on, I can get along with the subject. Anybody who can answer me? My question is, I'm going to repeat. It's very clear. On a sunny day in a forest in hot summer, if some fire is ignited, takes place, in which direction does it move? Whether it is east, west, north, south. Who can answer me?
Yeah, you can unmute yourself and speak. Anybody would like to answer? You can unmute yourself and speak, please. Fire has started already. Please let us know which direction it's going. You need to unmute yourself. Chandrasekhar, you need to unmute yourself.
Sir, yeah, according to the direction of the air, I think, right? Not?
Yeah. According to? Who is this? Gurucharan? Janardhan?
Sir, I commented. I commented on the comment box.
Okay. Let me see. Okay.
Actually.
Okay. Gurucharan, I got it. Thank you for your answer. Great thing, great involvement. That's okay. Any other answers that I can expect? Any other answers?
Actually, sir, 4 sides, sir.
Great, sir. On both sides.
Actually, A side is sir.
Great, sir. Your voice, we have some issues with your connection, audio connection, I think so. I understood, sir.
Okay.
You said both sides. Why not the remaining both sides?
Yes.
You said both, and there will be 4 sides that I mentioned: east, west, north, south. Okay, I'll give the answer. Anyways, thank you for the response. I know that gives me immense confidence to go ahead with the session. Well, let me speak. You can unmute yourself so that we can have quality, speech or audio here. Shall I come up with the answer? Generally, when I ask this question to the students in my programs, people say, as Gurucharan rightly said, like, gaal untundi kada sir, gaal eto sir eltundi sir. This is what they keep on saying. And yes, generally, I was speaking about the age, the adolescent age, like 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, teenage. Absolutely true. However, the wind goes, అంటే గాలి ఎటు వస్తే అటు. ఈరోజు ఐటీ బాగుందంటే ఐటీ వైపు, లేదు సిఏ బాగుందంటే సిఏ వైపు, లేదు ఇంకొక లుక్రేటివ్ ఇది వచ్చిందంటే ఇది బాగుంది, లేదు ఇంకోటి బాగుంది. దే జస్ట్ టేక్ the advantage of the wind, and ఏది బాగుంటుంది. The stage is such. I don't want to like find faults, or maybe it's not time to find faults, I can say. I don't want to find faults or maybe blame anybody, but the age criteria, the stage is such. But you know what, guys, if you keenly observe, the fire not only goes according to the wind, but also it goes against, because the grass is dense over there. If it goes 2 meters towards the wind, at least it will go at least half a meter or 1 meter against the wind also. And that is what we have to notice over there. What I mean to say here is, we should not get carried away with crazy things. The reason why I say this is people are really narrow-minded, and they see very, what can easily come. I would like to make a statement over here, guys. Nothing comes easy in life. You have to fight for it. You have to earn for it. When you earn it by working hard, I'm sure you're going to make a difference, not just for your life, for many other lives, so that you can be a role model. So hope you understood, like the fire, the same fire I'm talking about. If you have a 5-year plan, 6 years plan, 3 years plan, and you can get a guide according to that, and if you can, motivate yourself and have a goal, everything can start happening positive. I would like to make a statement over here. When you take the responsibility for your thoughts, decisions, actions, and then the results, that leads to transformation. I have been telling you that I'm bringing in a lot of terminologies one by one. And first I brought inspiration, motivation, empowerment, and now transformation. Transformation is a preeminent term that I strongly believe in, because without this transformation, nothing great happens in life. Because if you have to grow from childhood to adolescent, adolescent to career to a responsible citizen in the country or society, transformation is the key. Because transformation doesn't stop with once. Transformation is a continuous process. It's a never-ending process. The more you change, the more you grow, because change is inevitable. Because if something changes once, if it is stable, it is there. It's nothing going to progress or upgrade. We are not going to upgrade anything. Say, for example, take a matchbox. It was 10, 25 paisa when I was a kid, and now it is 1 rupee. And there is no assurance that it is going to be 1 rupee even after 5 years or 10 years. If I ask anybody, could anybody promise me saying that he or she would provide me a load of matchsticks or matchboxes in 2025 or maybe 30? It's not possible, because it's going to hike. That's what I said, change inevitable. We have to upgrade, as everybody says. I had listened to many people saying this, we have to upgrade our skills, like it is inevitable to change. If you don't change, the change will come and change you people. Change is the only thing which is constant in the world. But the irony is, but the fun is, even the change keeps on changing. That's what we have to update on. And if you can give yourself some time, plan according, take the responsibilities for your thoughts, actions, even results, then the preeminent thing that is going to happen. This is the best thing that I can tell you. Until unless you take responsibility on your life, until unless you take responsibility on the actual happenings, I'm telling you carefully here, responsibility on your thoughts, decisions, actions, and then results. Everything is there. The reason why I say thoughts is around 60 to 65,000 thoughts come to human brain. And it is left to you, like what to think and what not to think. You are what you think, and you are what you eat, and like you can like become what you want. The reason why I say this, the thoughts that you bring into your mind are definitely going to be actions, and actions is going to be life. You are what you choose to be, certainly. And your mind is a generator of failure as well as success. It is left to you how you take it and what you want. The outside world mirrors what you think inside on your mind. So it's like mirror. No matter what happens, no matter how difficult the situations are, do not panic. Just keep it short and simple, and just focus. One more terminology called focus. That is what is missing in today's youth. That is what is biggest problem with all the people. As I rightly said, you may not be focusing a lot. One day you'll be on one thing, maybe with a lot of difficulty, on another day, maybe the third day or fourth day, we tend to just take the things for granted, and then you can fix for that. If my mind consumes, my heart pursues, I'm sure I can do it. No matter what. focus, always aim for the best, be ready for the worst, and leave the rest. And this is how it works. And coming back to the plan, if you can plan yourself, organize yourselves for 3 to 5 years down the line, I can see an IAS, an IPS, an engineer, a successful citizen at the end. No matter what, guys, be loyal to your parents. I want to bring in one more important point over here. We are, the boons given by our parents, and we have to respect the parents. No matter what you become, first try to be a responsible son or a daughter. Be loyal to them. I don't know what you do in the future, but try to be a good son or a daughter, and then a citizen and great asset to the country. And if you have to become, you need to have clarity of mind, purity of heart, and surety for success. When you have all these things, I'm repeating this again: clarity of mind, purity of heart, surety for success, you'll be a great asset for our nation, and you can make our country a preeminent nation in the time to come. So all these things, this is where the goal setting comes again. The goal setting is one more biggest topic that we can discuss for hours together, but I would like to brief you on that. When you have a goal, this is where you'll have to take an oath towards goal. Before going into that, I would like to tell you one thing. Yeah, success. I'm talking about goal or success. Success is the outcome of your thinking, visualization, planning, and then taking actions. Previously, I've been speaking about all the things happening in life. Like success is the outcome of your thoughts or maybe thinking, visualization, and then comes action, planning and action. So first thing that I told is thinking. As I already told you, thinking is very important. What you think is what comes back to you, what comes to you. What you give is what comes to you. Thinking has to happen, and then to give like bigger picture, you'll have to visualize. Visualization is one more valuable terminology. I would like to enlighten you on visualization. Well, what is visualization? I want to ask you people again. Visualization, vision, because next I'm going to teach you about goal setting, and goal setting alone is totally different from goal setting with a vision. For that purpose, I'm asking you, what is visualization? Anybody? Well, as we may run short of time to complete this, I would like to move forward and continue saying that I would like to let you know or enlighten on what is visualization. Well, I would like to tell a small anecdote for 2 minutes over here. Hope you're all there and you would love to listen to me. There was a place where all the people were called, and God appeared, and a lot of people wanted to question God. A lot of people who had problems with themselves and who were deprived or who were handicapped and who were given physically challenged body or whatever. And when the God appeared, everybody started questioning him, and a guy stood up and said, okay, everybody has said their own problems, but I would like to tell my problem. I'm a blind guy. If a person doesn't have a hand or a limb, or for that matter, deaf or dumb, it is still okay that they can enjoy their life, at least to some extent. But how about me? There can be any deprivation, or maybe could there be any curse or bad situation than being blind? Because I can't see anything, and this I think is the biggest curse on me. And could there be anybody who is unfortunate than me? I'm the most unfortunate. What would you say, God? He questioned the God. Hope you understood. The blind guy stood up after everyone asked and questioned God, bringing in their disabilities and everything. This blind guy questioned God. Could there be anybody so unfortunate than me? Would there be anybody? What's your answer? You can take It's very important. You can unmute yourself and then start speaking. I want the answer, please. I hope you'd love to respond for this. Okay. Okay. It seems like nobody is responding. Like, I would like to let the cat out of the bag. I would like to break the ice. Yes. The God responded saying, yes, there would be somebody who would be even more unfortunate than you. Then everybody was surprised. You know, then God started explaining what is sight, what is vision, what is the difference between sight and vision. Sight is something which everybody can see with their naked eyes. But in contrast to that, vision is something which can be seen beyond the sight. This is a slight difference. This is the difference between sight and like visualization. Vision is beyond. Yeah, exactly. Well said. Thumbs up to Guru Charan. Well said. That's what have been explaining. Yeah. Vision is more qualified than sight. Sight is what we can see with our naked eye, and vision is looking beyond the obvious, beyond our sight. Visualizing your life after 10 years or 15 years or 20 years down the line, it's not just living your life, but living your life in a permanent way. Anybody can live. Living is not a big challenge, I think, in my personal view. You can live anyway. Even ant gets his food. Even birds get its food. Nobody is providing food or grain to all the birds who are here, even animals and many things. They have their own way of living. Likewise, if God has given birth to like a human being, he or she has his or her own means of living, and living is not a big challenge. But what is the big challenge here? It suits to our topic, life skills. Living a permanent life, which makes a difference to your lives, is what is more important. Living a life that would be remembered by people for a long way, even after your exit. Living after living is most important thing that we have to think. And when you have some, high profile thoughts like this motivation and empowerment is that it speak, and we surely come up with lots and lots of visionary things, and that's what in fact makes us live. Besides food, air, whatever, you need the inspiration, risk, like motivation, or maybe visualization, just because not like we need it to just live the life. But if you want to live a high profile life, you need it, because we respire every day to have a sound body. Without respiration, we can't live. We respire every moment. The same way, even our body needs inspiration. Respiration, inspiration. The respiration is responsible for the sound body, and the inspiration is responsible for sound mind and have the high profile thoughts. You can take for an example a cell phone, which is mandatory for everybody. It needs charging every moment we wake up. We see whether it is well charged or not. In the same way, we have to charge ourselves with thought-provoking proverbs, or maybe high-profile thoughts, visions, and all these. And that's what makes me to speak about empowerment, visualization, goal setting, and all about. Hope you understood my point over here. It's I would like to highlight two points which I've recently said. Like, one is living after living, and the second one is how you would like to be remembered even after your exit from this world. And the last one is the way of life. And you have to just have this motivation, visualization, all these things to make a difference for yourself and get along with a life in a high profile manner. Okay, and coming to the goal setting. Now, since I talked about visualization, and it is appropriate for me to talk about goal setting here. Many people say goal setting. Goal setting is setting your goal, having a plan. What if after 1 year, 2 years, 3 years down the line? But what I would like to say here, you need to have certain, targets when you are setting the goal. You need to be specific on the goals, not having broad, like having a high goal is the absolute necessity. I already told you, like if your goal is to reach the 10th mile, you have to aim for the 11th or the 12th mile. Waking up at the 11th hour doesn't do well, but you'll have to have at the earliest possible in your young age itself. When you set your goal, you'll have to see whether all your expectations of your parents and years are matching or not. And that too, I would like to tell you one more point in the beginning itself, like your goal has to be set by yourself, but not by anybody else, because you are the one that you are going to take the responsibility. I already told you, taking the responsibility for your thoughts, for your vision, taking the responsibility for your maybe actions and results, it is going to change. It is going to make you transform. So what I mean to say here is you'll have to take, while taking, you'll have to take certain things into considerations. Minimum things that you'll have to take is expectations. You may say, what are expectations? Expectations should be something there, very high. And when your expectations are high, you can at least work hard and thrive through, and then reach to a level where you can at least be comfortable. It's all about expectations. You'll have to be meeting all your expectations. And next comes variation. It's very important to be in this competitive era. The reason why I'm speaking about this in these life skills is this is a real life skill that one needs to have in this in this world of information technology, globalization, and interdependence. One should definitely have a variant thoughts, sort of creativity. Variation, I would like to elaborate here, saying that everybody has to go through 10th, intermediate, graduation. Of course, the latest education policy has changed it into 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4, whatever. Like, and this is how it works. But I want to say something. If you complete your schooling, if you have to go for graduation, you can't have different courses for each individual. We have certain courses, and you have to go through that. You can't have variation right from education. You'll have to study what everybody has studied. What I mean to say here is you have to look where everyone has looked, but you have to see what none has seen. You'll have to notice and learn what none has learned. And you have to do something which is not done by anybody over here. And you can lead a life, achieve a life which cannot be achieved by many others in the society. So what I mean to say here is you need to be different, variant. And everybody studies, everybody goes for the jobs. You think something. It's not like getting a job, but giving a job. Think out of the box. Maybe if something matches to your skill set, think about your strengths, weakness, ponder for some time, and you can sit idle, think, write a list of positives, negatives, and then compare them, and then come to a decision which matches you, where you can launch your career at the threshold situation and then soar through. So what I mean to say here is be variant, do what everybody does, but achieve something which is not achieved by something, then somebody can prefer you in this society. This is absolute necessity and the need of the hour in this era of cutthroat competition. I talked to you about expectations. I talked to you about outcomes. Even more important, innovation. Innovation is the most often used terminology in this 21st century. The innovation doesn't have a limit. As you see, the days are progressing and we never know. We are attending these Zoom meetings today, and tomorrow the technology may be different, the language may be different, but the competition is the same and it is even more intensified in the future. If we have to be up for the task, if we have to upgrade ourselves in the future, we need to be innovative. We need to be innovative in our thoughts. We need to be innovative in application. We need to be innovative in achievements. taking responsibilities, taking actions. Everything has to be innovative. Expectations, variations, innovations, and last but not the least, there are many, but I would like to just do a glimpse of it. And last thing, very important, friends, thinking about yourself, myself, ourselves, it's nothing but satisfaction. It's even more important when compared to all these three. You know what? All these, expectation, variation, innovation are different from satisfaction. Whatever you do in your life, at the end of the day, what you get for yourself is very important. When you are satisfied to yourself, you are the happiest person. Having a great life is different from having a satisfied life. What do you choose? If somebody asked me to choose, I chose satisfied life rather than great life. But the reason why I say this is great life comes only when you are satisfied. When you are satisfied, you are happy. Great may or may not satisfy you, make you happy or may not make you happy. So that is what I want to say. At the end of the day, you need to be satisfied. So when you have expectation, when you meet the expectations, when your job meets the variation, and when your job has variation, when you have innovation, when your your life is satisfied, your work satisfaction, when you have work satisfaction, everything, your life is going to be a sensation. I'm sure it is going to be sensible. It's not just a sensation for yourself, but it would be a sensation in the society, and people would admire you, look up to you, and you may be a big role model for them. The reason why I say is I see a lot of people choosing something because of some sort of pressure from their parents and pressure from their friends, or maybe life or whatever. Like in a hurry, they choose something and they do something, and I'm sure like they are not happy with their life. And after living 10, 15 years of life, if they are not comfortable with their life, they are not going to land anywhere. So this should not happen. This is why the self-satisfaction is very important. When you have all these things embedded in your goal setting, then you are with a vision, my dear friends. The reason why I said all these things is a part of vision. The reason why I say this is, of course, say for an example, an aspirant wants to become a doctor. Doctor. Yes, let him become a doctor. He works very hard, completes the course, and now he completes the house surgeon, goes to the hospital. Then he gets in the casualty, he gets an emergency case, an accident case, when he or she is completely immersed in blood. When he sees, he or she faints. And what is the use of becoming a doctor if he or she cannot handle the situation? So this is what I say, to be very careful with your strengths and weaknesses. Your strengths and weaknesses should match your goal. And that's what vision is all about. Think beyond the obvious. If your goals cannot be reached, do not change your goals, but adjust the kind of efforts, the kind of intensity of efforts you put. So here, goal needs to have all these things. At the same time, the vision is what makes you the future ready. Being the future ready is one of the preeminent life skills that I would like to suggest. And I've spoken a lot about all these things, but I would like to bring in something which is very important, called, where is the action, skill, skill. Yeah, creative success formula. No, not creative success formula. There are three things, very preeminent, preeminent things which are very important. ASK. That's nothing but if one has to prosper, one has to go to the level where one can achieve something. I'm going to the core content of the life skills now. It's nothing but the three preeminent things that one, intervention. I have been speaking about intervention. I've spoken a lot of things, but intervention of life skills in life starts here. What are the important things that one needs in life? It's nothing but knowledge. Knowledge can help you to a certain extent. Knowledge is divine, we say. It is knowledge which makes a person job ready, of course. But Where do you get knowledge? What is knowledge? The ultimate byproduct of education is knowledge. When you got knowledge, you can only get the certificates, marks, whatever. If you upload your resume along with your mark list, even if you are 95% achiever, they can only ask you to come to an interview, and they want to interview you and then confirm a job. Nobody will confirm a job by looking at your profile like knowledge, maybe mark list, whatever. That's what I mean by knowledge. So this is what I would like to show. You can have a look at it. It's nothing but knowledge, skill, and attitude. Well, after getting knowledge, what next? Knowledge alone can't win you a job. And coming to the next level, it's skill. Skill is one more preeminent level, the next level. When you practice your knowledge, what you have learned, where does knowledge come from? School, maybe from books, whatever. When you take all that into your practical life, you practice thousands of times, and when you execute it to the perfection, then that can be said as a skill. And it's skill which can give you one more asset to succeed in your life. Knowledge, skill. Let me speak about skill. Well, our session is all about life skills, and in life, the role of skill is immense and infinite. When you have the required skills to go ahead and achieve something in your life, that is going to be like biggest asset for you, and I'm sure you can land yourself into a job. So knowledge, skill. When you go to interviews, what happens? No matter how many marks you get, like how good you are academically, again you'll have to go through all the interview process. You have to talk about yourself, you'll have to answer what you say. And even in interviews, the moment you go, you are not allowed, and the way you behave, the way you give your resume to the receptionist, and the way you look, and maybe way you believe when you are waiting in the waiting room, and all these things matter. And the other day I heard Suma madam saying that 80% of the interview is completed before you enter into the interview cabin. That's absolutely true, my dear friend. That's where the skill set comes into existence. The skill is the second thing that I can tell you. When you have knowledge and skill, you can land into your job. Of course, you have good knowledge, and you can voice your knowledge, execute it to the perfection. You can do it handsomely. Then you are selected. Of course, yes, you are selected. Is the story going to end there? I don't think so, because I see a lot of people personally. They get a job, they are very happy. They share their happiness with their friends by throwing a party. They yell, scream, and they enjoy. And when they meet their friends for the next time, when they ask them after somewhere down the line, a month or two, when they ask them like, how is the job, how are you getting along with your job, they say like, yeah, no, yeah, they start blaming the company, saying that it's a bullshit management, bullshit company, and I could not get along with that, and I just resigned it. And now actually he was fired out, and he says that he's like, he resigned it and he's looking for a job. And they meet and go away, and next time when they meet again, yeah, buddy, he himself calls and says, no, I got a good job in a company like this. I'm really happy. Come, let us celebrate. The party happens. That this person again, after 3 months, again sitting, it's like, I'm not comfortable with the company. Why is that? This keeps on happening. Hope you understood what I said. Why is this happening? Why is this happening? This is necessary. I want some. Why are people losing jobs? Why people keep on, just skipping the jobs and think that it is happening? Anybody? I would like to take a pause, like 15 to 20 seconds. What's time? 15. I would like to take 15, 20 minutes of 20 seconds of pause here. I want the response. If not, I shall proceed. I'm waiting for the answer in the chat box. Yeah, somebody has given me an answer. Yeah, it's Guru Charan, because of attitude. Okay, yeah, Guru Charan, buddy, you have hit the bullseye. It's true, it is Correct. Lack of consistency in today's youth. Very nice. Very nice. Great answer from one more participant, and one more. Okay. Okay. Fine. That's fine. I got answer here. Yeah. Next is attitude, my dear friends. Knowledge is one level, skill is another level, and when you have these two, it's not the same. And how you get along, no matter how talented, how dedicated, how sincere, how skillful, how desperate or aspirated towards success or whatever. But what you do is what matters, and how you get along is what matters, and how do you mingle with all the others is even more important. You need to be educating and upgrading every day. This is where the life skills again intervene here. The life skills may not be there if you look at it, but when you look closely, delve into the facts deep, then you come to know. This is where the life skills come into existence. When you don't get along, when you don't mingle with the people, respect with the people, when you have to degrade yourself, you have to degrade. When you have to upgrade yourself, speak whatever you want to speak about any submissive or dominative. Try to be neutral. Try to neutralize. And there are many things. These skills, when I speak about all these things, you may be thinking like, how come all these things happen? Is it possible that is? Yes, everything is possible. Everything has its own way. It all depends on how you think. That's where attitude comes into existence. What is attitude, my dear friends? First of all, attitude is what you think. Attitude is how you feel. Attitude is how you live your life. And at the end, if I have to say in one word about attitude, if you think that you can do something, you can. If you think you can't do something, you can't. This is what attitude absolutely is all about. So, your what you do, your what to eat, your health is what you eat, and everything is in your hands. What you give is what comes back to you. What you think today is what your tomorrow is going to be. As I already said, that your mind is a mirror. Your mind is the generator of failure as well as success. It is all about how you think. The mind thinks of success outside the world, mirrors it. If you think of failure, the same thing is mirror. So this is what knowledge, skill, attitude is all about. Skill without knowledge is baseless. Knowledge without skill is useless. And knowledge and skill without good attitude is worthless. So what I mean to say here is, Gurucharan asked me to check my internet connection and voice is not clear. How about others? It's good. Others are responding and the internet connection is also good. Thank you anyways for informing me. How about others like Srinivas? Are you there? Is there any issue with it? Mahipati Srinivas, are you there? Is there any issue with it? Now, okay. Thank you for the spontaneous response, Guru Charan. Okay, I would like to repeat this, taglines again. Knowledge, skill, attitude. Skill without knowledge is baseless. Knowledge without skill is useless, and skill and knowledge without attitude is valueless, worthless. So the total life is here, the total life skills are here. So it is how you take your life, it is how you look at your life, and it is all about your attitudes. 90% is your attitude, and remaining 10% is how you do it and how you put into practice. And remaining like maybe 0.1% would be luck, God's grace, whatever. Because I see, I have to mention this. I see a lot of people mentioning God's grace and luck, whatever. Luck is nothing but labor under correct knowledge. LUCK. Labor under correct knowledge is what luck is all about. I believe in labor, but not luck. So I have to tell you this. because a lot of people thinking that my horoscope is such, my zodiac sign is this and that is whatever. Okay, okay. No matter what, you have to just put your thoughts into work. Your actions, your thoughts has to become your action. Your actions become your life. Choose your thoughts carefully. They are going to be building blocks of your life. Okay, and then when you have like something, I see a lot of people. I have to tell you this. I see a lot of people having a bit of talent, but they don't believe in themselves and they think that they don't have. They always ponder, they feel, they degrade themselves, saying that I don't have this, and my parents have educated me. If I had been this, I would be this, and this is what is hampering me from success. This is my fate. This is my whatever. These are the most ridiculous things that we have in our life. The reason why I say this is, I already said to you, the way you see at your life is what you do, and like you can say that I can do and I can make anything possible. Tremendous activity in outside, total tranquility inside is the passport for prosperity every side. It's as simple as that. Have tremendous activity outside. Work as best as you can as a demon, and total tranquility. That should not come inside. That should be outside. You'll have to work vigorously, but the mind has to be so peaceful. And you have tremendous activity outside, total tranquility inside. It is the passport for prosperity every side. And I want to say this because people always keep blaming themselves, degrading themselves. Why do you degrade? If you are born poor, it's not your mistake. If you die poor, it is mistake. It is your mistake. In the same way, it's not like what you have, and also it's not like what you don't have. If you work on what you have, you'll get what you don't have. I shall repeat this once again. Try to listen carefully. It's not like what you don't have, but what you have. If you work with what you have, I'm sure you'll get what you don't have. And if you just leave it, I'm sure you will lose what you have today by tomorrow. It's as simple as that. And remember, guys, you'll have to always subordinate certain things for the purpose of your life. Sometimes you may have to sacrifice, because I see people living with limited thoughts in their comfort zone, saying this is great. Of course, yes, what you have may be great, but when are you going to get even more great, or maybe the best? When you are ready to sacrifice, or when you are ready to give up what you have, when you are ready to risk, I'm sure then you are in the track to get the best. Unless you give something, you are not going to get something. कुछ पाने के लिए कुछ होना पड़ेगा. So what I mean to say here is, you always have to be ready to risk. I would like to talk about risk for a minute over here. Lots of people avoid risks. The reason why they avoid risks is they don't want to risk. Risk is 4-letter word. Life is also 4-letter word. I can easily say in the equation, life is equal to risk. The reason I say this is there is no life without risk. What happens? Let us see on the other side of the coin. What happens if we risk? What happens if we risk? If you take risks, you may not lose. Of course, that is it. And remember, guys, there is always the second opportunity. When you take risk, you win and lose. Let's see what happens if you win and what happens if you lose. When you win, you lead. When you lose or when you fail, you guide. What do you think is the greatest thing over here? Lead, guide. Do you see any difference in this? I don't think so. We can't I can't really differentiate much, because if you win, you lead. Because of your risks, you have risked and you are rewarded over there, and people will admire you, adore you, and you lead. If you lose, you guide. In a sense, you can guide others to not to lose, and you can guide others and you can make others successful. You are a kingmaker out there. I always admire and adore guide rather than a leader. A leader is one who just leads. And it's not going to be easy for one to be a leader, I'm sure, but it is guide who creates the winners. It is guide who makes the next generation leaders. Now tell me, friends, is the one who is leading and being a leader great, or one who makes the tomorrow's leaders and next generation leaders great? I leave it to your intuition, and I'll just pass on to the next one. I would like to talk here about failure. I'm sure this program, this presentation is never complete if I don't speak about failure. But what is failure, friends? In your case, you might have listened to a lot of people saying failure is stepping stone. You might have listened to saying some people like failure always is a opportunity for the next level or whatever. You know what? I would like to tell you one thing. FAIL, fail, is nothing but false evidence appearing real. Failure is nothing but false evidence appearing real. Okay? The fear itself, I'm sorry, I'm talking about fear here. False evidence appearing real is, when you fear, you tend to fail. When you fail, failure is always an opportunity for learning. Because failure cannot be fatal or the end of the life, but it could give you the real opportunity for the next level. This is what I strongly believe in. Failure, in fact, makes you honest to yourself. It brings your real hidden energies and it brings your real honesty outside. Failure can make you even more confident, can make you even more, to work even more intensely. And failure doesn't mean that you are a failure. It means that you haven't succeeded yet. That's as simple as that. Failure doesn't mean you have not accomplished anything. Failure means you have learned something. I'll repeat this once again. Failure doesn't mean that you have not accomplished anything, but it means that you have learned something. You can remember Thomas Alva Edison for this, and he's a perfect example that I can give for the failure. And then he was successful. Okay, next thing, failure is like failure doesn't mean that you'll never be able to do it, but it is like you have to do it one more time to succeed. You have to do it in a different way so that you can succeed. As I already said to you, when you don't reach your goals, it's not like you'll have to change the goals, but change the density, the dosage of the efforts. The failure doesn't mean that you are an inferior person, but it means that you are perfect. Failure doesn't mean that you're an inferior to anybody, but it means that you are perfect. Failure doesn't mean that you have wasted all your life, but it means that you have learned a lot of things. You have to start afresh. This is what it means. And you should not give up because of failure, because you should try harder than what you tried before. You will never achieve, failure doesn't mean that you will never achieve, but it means there is always a next better chance. There is always a better tomorrow. It takes a little longer for you to achieve. It doesn't mean failure doesn't mean that God has abandoned you, but it means God has a better idea about you. The best is still awaiting for you. This is what you have to think. And as I already said, failure is one thing which makes you honest to yourself, which brings the real talent out of you. And I love to speak about failure because failure has made me and brought me to this level. I can say I'm proud to say that I'm a product of failure. If I go on speaking about this, there are a hell lot of things. And I think it's already time, and I would like to conclude it in another 5 minutes by summing up all the things, and then Q&A session for 5 more minutes with your permission, Mr. Srinivas. Well, my session is not complete if I don't speak about leadership. Well, if you want to be a leader, you have to put in all your efforts, and you have to be, putting in and yeah, putting in all your efforts to become a leader. Once we all want to become leaders, right? And guides and all the time. I wish you all the success, and I wish my session helped you. And it's like an idea can change the world. The saying goes like this, and I wish it definitely would have made a difference for yourself and for everybody. And I wish it would help you. And I'm ready for question answers. Thank you for your patience, time, for listening to all these things that I have been telling you. I hope I would be back with many more preeminent topics with Mahipati's Mahipati's approval. Thank you for listening so patiently. It's over to you, Mahipati, now.
Thank you very much, Chandrasekhar. It was really, you started from life skills, birth to death, how you need to create your life, and various things you have taught, and you also spoke about living after living, like even after death also how you can live, and what kind of vision we need to have, what kind of planning we need to have, what is failure. There are various aspects that you shared with us. Thank you so much. If any one question we can take, because we are running out of time, we have the next session at 7 o'clock. Any one question, if somebody would like to speak, you can unmute your video and you can ask questions, please.
Anybody, I'm up for that.
Yeah, anyone? Anil Kumar V. Anil, our classmate, I think, if I'm right. Janardhan.
I'd be glad.
Yeah.
Hi, Anil.
Yeah, I think there are no questions. You made it clear that everybody would understand. So I thank everyone for taking your time. Thank you
no
very
question.
much.
Yeah, somebody.
Introduce yourself and speak, please.
Sir, it's not a question. Just no, I want to say thanks. That was very fantastic, Chandrasekhar sir. Very nice session. Thank you very much. And very nice. There is a fire inside us, and you lit it up, right? Thank you very much. Bye, sir.
Thank you,
Srinivas sir.
Charan. You always on fire, and you fire the fire. And Chandrasekhar also made your fire to be fired. Okay. Thank you very much. And
Yes.
the fire now, in which direction it goes. I came to know now the fire has come in your direction. Thank you so much. Thank you, Chandrasekhar, for your time and the spirit that you carried throughout the session, making everybody to understand how we can make our life skills more effective, make ourselves successful. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Anil. Thank you, Janardhan, sir. And thank you, other name, I think Vivo1601, I don't know. I thank him and everyone. Thank one and all for making this session successful. Thank you very much.